psychiatric system. We are here today at a very minimum to say that these people, our loved ones who has been killed, did not die in vain. Number one. Number two, we're here today to say very clearly to the British government that we want justice and free. We're here in recognizing to underline the point that these killings is not just about isolated officers in all of the institutions that I've mentioned, but it's backed up by the state. And we want the people here to know and to recognize this is not just an issue that affects the black community, although we are disproportionately impacted by these killings. But in fact, the majority of the people that are killed in custody are actually white. But it's important that you support the campaign because an important question is raised over these killings. And the question is, what kind of society do we want to live in? It seems very clear to us that we're living under a police state. Because when the police and the various agencies of the state can go out and commit these brutal murders and get away with it, it means that none of us are safe.
Today is the 16th Memorial March of the United Families and Friends campaign, which is a coalition of families who have lost their loved ones at the hands of the state. That is in police custody, psychiatric units, immigration units and prisons. And no state agent has ever been convicted of any of the controversial deaths that has happened in this country for decades, from the 60s, 50s. There's been so many deaths, thousands of deaths. Murders! Murders! Killings, brutalities, controversial, lying, cover-ups, corruption has been happening in this country, we know, for decades. And nobody has been convicted of any of these controversial deaths. This is a list of some of the names of the people that have died in deaths in this country since 1969. The first one being David Omawale. And this only goes up to 2010, the year when Kingsley Burrell, Demetri Fraser and Smiley Culture died. Their names are on this list. And this is recorded 3,180, and that's the names of the people that we know about on this list. So that speaks for itself, that there's so many deaths that people have died in the state, and yet nobody, not even one conviction, that alone in itself doesn't ring right. So I want us, we're all here today in memory of all these people on this list and all the other people that we don't know about and the people that have died since. Thank you very much. This is Mark Duggan's aunt, Carol Duggan. Another comrade. This is Sean, a real picture of Sean, of what he looked like just months before he died in May. Okay. These are the 4 officers that arrested him. Johnson, PC Andrew Burks, and PC Matthew Forward. These are the 4 arresting officers who put their hands on my brother, and when he came out the other side of the van, he was on death's door. And the question is, why is that?
Mark Duggan was the 4th person to die in Tottenham alone. Why? Tottenham is over-policed. Why? Because 1985 PC Blakelock was murdered on Broadwater Farm. Therefore, the residents of Tottenham ever since are being paid the price for his murder. That's why they're over-policed, persecuted, imprisoned, you name it, they get it. Unemployment, the care system, anything. Mark was executed in 2011. His children have been thrown on the scrap heap by this government, by this society. Why? Because they're black. The perverse verdict. We got that in January. Mark was not armed. Mark did not have a gun in his hand. Mark was surrendering with a BlackBerry phone in his right hand, and he was gunned down. Not once, but twice. That perverse verdict caused problems in the communities because everybody with an ounce of sense knew it just did not add up. So why do you think they come to that perverse verdict? I will tell you why. Because Mark Duggan came from Tottenham. The 2011 uprisings that took place, Mark Duggan's family are being held responsible for that. Therefore, we will never get a fair trial, we will never get a fair hearing, we will never get anything from this government given to us because they would like to see us just go away. Well, we're not going away. So here we are now. This is the 16th year for United Friends and Family campaign. This is the 3rd year for Mark Duggan. And we're going to be here every year for as long as it takes to get justice. Because you see, we will not get justice because of the 2011 uprising, because Mark's death was political, the court is political, so the result of his death will be political. So therefore, a chance of getting justice for Mark will be very, very slim. But what we will be doing along the way is dragging all of those corrupt officers, all of this corrupt racist system along with us, and hopefully highlighting to the ordinary members of the public just how corrupt and unjust that this system is. A perverse, lawful killing for somebody that is not armed. That is dangerous for the people. That is dangerous for our children, for their children. So we have to fight this. Not just for Mark's children, but for your children, for your grandchildren, for your sisters, for your brothers, for your mothers and for your fathers. We have to do this. Because this is just the beginning. If they get away with this, they're taking away our human rights. They're taking away legal aid. They're taking away everything that the working class people have got to fight. What are we going to do? Just sit down and take it? No! No, no, no. If it means another uprising, I'll be walking in the front line of that uprising. So no justice! No justice! No justice! Thank you.
Joy was murdered with 13 feet of tape around her face in a body belt and leg irons on the 28th of July 1993. She wasn't a criminal, she wasn't a terrorist, she wasn't anything like that. she was just an ordinary mother of 2 children. And the police broke into her flat in Hornsey. In Hornsey, and killed her in front of her 5.5-year-old child. And there is no justice for Joy, for killing Joy. They paid a bit of compensation to her son, but what's compensation when you have taken a child's life? The children has got no mother. I had to grow up Graham because he was only 5.5 years old, and now he's 27 years old. He's a grown man now, and you know, I'm still fighting, and I'll fight until I haven't got any strength left in my body to fight. I'll march if it comes to marching. I'll talk if I can talk. I'll walk if I can walk. And I'll do everything to get justice for Joy and for each and every one that has been killed unlawfully. Because we shouldn't take a life. We cannot give life, and we shouldn't take life. And every life is precious. It doesn't matter, even if it's a dog, it's precious. Because God is the one who make lives. And God says that no man should kill another man, because he's the one who gives breath. And no one should take another man's life. And the way how they killed my daughter was terrible. I can't even think about it. I've never sat and think about it because it's too much. It's too much for me to take. But God has given me the strength to carry on. And He will give me the strength to carry on. Yes. And He's the one who is keeping me and keeping all of us. And what happened to Joy, what happened to Mark, what happened to all the others, it could happen to anyone. We are not exempt, because this government and these police officers, they are corrupted, and they are racist, and they are corrupt. It's all corruption, and we got to carry on. They should come out and support, because it can happen to their children, their grandchildren, their brothers, their sisters, their mothers, their fathers, anyone. We are not exempt. But it's a struggle, and we got to fight on. No justice, no justice, no justice, no justice.
Cheney, as we called him in the family, was 23. He'd done his master's and was going to do his PhD. If you're a parent, you know how difficult it is to take a boy, a black boy, through the system. You know, you stop them doing things, you make them study, you know, you tell them that if they study and they do well, they'll have a good job, well, you know, maybe, you know, but you push them. You know how hard it is, how we struggle each and every day. When I think about the promise the years that we put into another human being, and they just wiped it away in a second. Cheney had had one psychotic episode, and he, as a voluntary patient, wanted to go to the hospital to find out what had happened. You're a voluntary patient, you can leave at any time, but they called the police. First 2, then 4, then 11. 11 police. You know what I can't get over is, a normal child would know that if you're sitting on somebody, 11 of you, there's going to be a problem. What is it with the police? What is it? What don't they understand? Cheney died 4 years ago. 4 years ago, and we have still not had an inquest. But the only thing I'm praying for is that we will get some justice, we'll get some answers for Cheney. He wouldn't give up, and I'm not giving up.